Well, hello everybody. Today I'm translating a short video that the President did on Sunday regarding his business plan, or National Economic Evolution Plan for the future to help the government or the country improve economically after the pandemic. Okay, so here goes, and here we go.
Estamos aquí en este salón, biblioteca de los expresidentes en Palacio.
So we are here today in the old library of the ex-presidents here in the palace.
Nacional. Hoy
National
domingo.
Palace. Today, Sunday.
Ya hablamos ayer.
And yesterday we spoke
estamos enfrentando la pandemia.
In the way that we are fighting or confronting the pandemic.
De cómo hemos podido aplanar la curva.
And how we were able to flatten out the curve
de la pandemia del coronavirus.
Of the pandemic of the coronavirus.
Gracias a las decisiones que se tomaron y sobre
And thanks to the decisions that were taken,
todo a el buen comportamiento de
and especially related to the good behavior
de todos los mexicanos.
Of all the Mexican people.
Un comportamiento ejemplar.
It was a behavior that was exemplary.
En casa, las
and they stayed home.
Medidas de sana distancia.
And they kept the measures of safe distance.
Todo eso nos ha ayudado mucho.
All of these things have helped us very much.
Para prepararnos, tener las camas.
In order to prepare ourselves and to have all the beds.
Los ventiladores.
The vents, ventilators.
Poder atender a los enfermos.
And to be able to take care of our ill.
Salvar vidas.
And to save lives.
Con los especialistas, con los médicos, las enfermeras.
With the specialists, with the doctors, with the nurses.
Que son héroes y heroínas.
That are heroes and heroines.
Y a pesar de que estamos en un momento muy difícil, porque
But even though we are in a very difficult time,
estamos en la meseta, en lo más grave.
And right now, even though we are at the worst part of it, the most grave part,
a pesar de eso, todo indica que ya va a empezar el descenso.
Everything indicates that we are on the descent.
La mejoría.
And that things are getting better.
Sobre todo en el Valle de México.
But above all, in the Valley of Mexico.
Y en otras ciudades que fueron afectadas desde el inicio de esta pandemia.
And also other states that were affected since the initiation of this pandemic.
En nuestro país.
In our country.
Tenemos ya encargado a
And we have already put in wait
a los médicos que nos guían, que nos han estado recomendando las medidas.
These doctors that have been giving us the measures for safety
que deben de aplicarse.
That need to be applied.
Desde luego al doctor Jorge Alcocer,
and especially the doctor Héctor Alcocer,
científico, secretario,
the secretary, the scientist
de salud,
of health,
de todo el equipo.
of the whole team.
Y miren lo que está sucediendo hace 2 días.
And look at what's been happening. It's been about 2 days ago.
Recibí una notificación
I received a notification
de la Organización Mundial de la Salud
of the World Health Organization
donde se postula
where they postulate
al doctor Hugo López Gatell Ramírez,
our doctor Hugo López Gatell Ramírez,
al doctor Hugo López Gatell,
the doctor Hugo López Gatell,
para participar en el grupo de expertos
in order to participate in the group of experts
del Reglamento Sanitario Internacional
of the international regulations of sanitation or health
de la Organización Mundial de la Salud.
from the World Health Organization.
Un reconocimiento bien merecido
And this is a recognition that is well deserved
al doctor Hugo López Gatell. Entonces, ahí vamos enfrentando la pandemia.
And there we go, confronting this pandemic.
Y ahora lo que quiero es también decirles que hay buenas noticias en general.
And now, today, what I want to tell you is that generally we have good news
En cuanto a la situación económica,
relating to our economic situation.
íbamos muy bien, ahora sí que como se dice en mi pueblo, por una expresión de un exgobernador.
And he says we were doing very well, as they say in my country, like some other organizations. Uh-oh, I have got something going on here. Hold on. Pardon me. I am so sorry. I've got this thing. Looks like there is another video starting right now somewhere. There it is. Okay, sorry about that. Let's get back to the one we were doing. Okay.
También que íbamos y se nos.
And he says our governor once said we were doing so well, and then look.
Presenta lo de la pandemia, pero como.
And then the pandemic presented itself. But look how.
Ya habíamos iniciado medidas para el combate a la corrupción, para.
By then, we had already initiated measures to combat corruption.
Hacer un gobierno eficiente, justo.
And we had become a government that was efficient and just.
Pues no nos agarró mal parados la
So it didn't catch us off guard,
pandemia.
this pandemic.
Y hemos podido ir remontando la crisis económica mundial.
And we were able to overcome this worldwide economic crisis
que precipitó
that
la
precipitated
pandemia del coronavirus.
the pandemic of the coronavirus.
Lo primero que se afectó fue el precio del petróleo, si ustedes recuerdan.
So the first thing that was affected was the price of petroleum, if you recall.
se cayó el precio del petróleo a
The price of petroleum fell below
menos cero.
zero.
Y ya empezó la recuperación.
And now the recovery has begun.
El 22 de mayo
On the 22nd of May,
ya la mezcla de petróleo mexicano se vendía en $27 con
we were selling the mix of petroleum in $27 for $27
30 centavos.
with 30 cents.
Ya lo que se perdió en un mes ya se está recuperando.
What was lost in 1 month, we are recovering now.
Es decir, ya va aumentando el precio del petróleo.
That is to say that the price of petroleum is going up.
Un poco más de un mes, cerca de mes y medio.
Nearly about a month and a half.
Pero miren la curva, como se tocó acá, piso, fondo.
And you can see on this curve where it's hit the very bottom.
Y ya ahí está recuperando.
And it's already up. It's recovered.
Lo mismo en el caso de la depreciación del peso.
And the same thing in the depreciation of the peso.
Miren cómo íbamos. Esto es el 2 de marzo.
Look at how we were going. This is on the 2nd of March
Del 2020.
in the year 2020.
México era el país con más apreciación de su moneda.
At that time, Mexico was the country with the most appreciation for its currency
En el mundo,
in the world
con relación al dólar.
in relation to the dollar.
Desde que entramos al gobierno,
Since we came into office,
el peso se había fortalecido, se había apreciado.
the peso had become more valuable. It had appreciated
En 4.7%.
in 4.7%.
Viene la pandemia y se cae el peso. Llegamos
And when the pandemic happened, the peso fell.
a 25 pesos por dólar.
At one point, it was up to 25 pesos per dollar.
Afortunadamente, también en 2 meses ya tenemos una recuperación.
And now, fortunately, in 2 months, we have recovered.
Ya se ha venido apreciando nuestro peso.
And now our peso has appreciated again.
Ahora 22 pesos 73 centavos por dólar.
And now the peso is at 22 pesos, 0.73 per dollar.
De 25 a 22.73.
So it went from 25 to 22.73.
Esto es también una buena noticia.
And that again is good news.
En cuanto a inversión extranjera directa, también
And also regarding foreign investment,
buenos resultados.
there have been good results.
Desde luego tenemos solo hasta marzo.
And of course, we only are showing here for March.
Todavía no están los datos de abril y mayo, pero ya marzo ya era un mes afectado.
And at this point, we haven't got April and May's data yet, but March was an affected month
La crisis económica mundial.
by the world economic crisis.
Y creció la inversión extranjera
And the foreign investment grew.
Llegó en marzo a 10.334 millones de dólares.
It grew to $10,334 million in investment.
Con relación a el mismo trimestre del año pasado, que fueron
in relation to the same time or same trimester of the previous year.
10.162, o sea, creció cerca de 200 millones de dólares la inversión.
So the investment grew about 200 million over what it was the year before.
Extranjera, el año pasado a este año.
So last year compared to this year.
Remesas.
And when it comes to remittances, this was something phenomenal. And thank you very much to the heroes and heroines, to our migrants that helped us. Because March was a record month. We got $4,000 million.
Para alrededor de 10 millones de familias.
And these went to about 10 million families.
Porque esto llega abajo.
Because this actually gets to the bottom of the people.
Reactivar la economía.
And it reactivates the economy.
Interesante también.
And also, another very interesting point,
poder decir que en el trimestre, enero-marzo,
and also I can say that in the trimester of January through March
del 2020, también,
of the year 2020,
récord.
It also had a record.
Ya suma 9.293 millones de dólares.
And now we have $9,933 million.
Muy arriba.
And that is way higher.
Y tengo información todavía no, vamos a decir, oficial.
And I also have some other information, but I can't say yet that it's official.
De que las remesas de abril, aunque menos que en marzo,
that the remittances in April, even though they were less than in March,
van a ser del orden de los 3,000 millones de dólares.
That it appears it's going to be about $3,000 million.
Superior a lo que fueron las remesas en enero de este año.
And it is more than what the remittances were in January of this year.
Febrero.
And February.
Luego marzo fue récord, 4,000.
But March was the record month, 4,000.
Pero se calcula, estimamos, que para abril las remesas van a sumar 3,000 millones de dólares también. De nuevo, muchas gracias, porque estamos hablando.
And we say that it looks like for April it's going to be around 3,000 million in remittances, and we are so thankful, and we're sending our thanks to our people.
De abril, cuando la crisis en Estados Unidos está pegando mucho y desde luego también a nuestros paisanos migrantes.
And this is a time that is very difficult in the United States, and of course our people are affected too that are living there.
Nada más tomar en cuenta que en abril en Estados Unidos se perdieron 20 millones de empleos.
And you must keep in mind that in the United States, they lost 20 million jobs.
Hasta abril, 20 millones de empleos. Y aún
In the United States, up until the month of April, they lost 20 million jobs.
así, nuestros paisanos, nuestros conciudadanos, nuestros migrantes están apoyando, siguen apoyando a sus familiares y con ello apoyando la economía nacional, la economía de México.
And even so, our people in the United States, the workers, they still sent money to their family members to support them, and in so doing help the economy of Mexico.
Y esta es también otra buena noticia.
And here I hold in my hands another piece of good news.
Mire, la recaudación.
And here we have the tax recovery.
No se ha caído.
It has not fallen.
Es un milagro. Ya les explico a qué se debe.
And it is a miracle, but I will explain what it is, the reason for it.
Pero del periodo enero-mayo,
But from the period from January to May,
si comparamos el año pasado con este,
if we compare last year to this one,
a pesar del coronavirus,
even with the coronavirus hitting us,
tenemos un incremento de 2.6% en términos reales.
we have an increase of 2.6% in real terms
En este periodo con relación al periodo del año pasado.
in the same period as compared to the year before.
De enero a mayo del año pasado recaudamos 1.658.000.000.000.
So this year we had tax recovery of 1,681,000,000,000.
1.658.000.000. Ahora, de enero a mayo, 1.757.000.000.
And this year 1,765,000,000,000 billion.
Es decir, 100.000 millones de pesos más.
We got 100 million pesos more this year.
En cuanto a la recaudación.
That is in relation to the recovery, tax recovery.
¿En dónde está la clave?
And where is the key factor,
El secreto.
the secret?
Pues nos están ayudando, los contribuyentes están pagando sus impuestos.
Because now people are paying their taxes.
Y habían muchos que no pagaban y que ahora están ya cumpliendo.
And there were a lot that were not paying, and now they are complying
Con su responsabilidad.
with their responsibility.
Por eso no se nos ha caído la recaudación.
And for that reason, our recovery has not dropped. That is tax recovery.
Lo que se cayó, pero también en lo que cabe, hay buenas noticias.
But what did fall, and even so, it is actually good news.
Fue el empleo.
It is the jobs.
Los trabajadores inscritos al Seguro Social. Teníamos antes del coronavirus 20 millones.
So he said the ones that work for the social government, we had around 20 million working before that coronavirus.
500,000 trabajadores.
500,000 workers.
En abril se perdieron 550,000 empleos.
And in April, we lost 550,000 jobs.
Es decir, nos quedamos como con 20 millones de trabajadores, un poquito menos.
So we wound up keeping about 20 million workers, maybe a little less.
Tengo los datos hasta el 23 de mayo.
And I do have the data up until the 23rd of May.
¿Qué se observa ya en mayo?
And what can you observe now in May?
Que ya no hay tanta pérdida de empleos.
Now there isn't as many losses of jobs.
Calculamos que si en abril fueron 550,000 los empleos que se perdieron, ya para mayo van a ser alrededor de 400,000.
So in April, it was around 500,000 jobs lost, and we believe that in April it should be around 400,000.
Yo tengo mi pronóstico de que con el coronavirus se van a perder 1,000,000 de
And I predict that with the coronavirus, we will lose 1 million
empleos.
jobs.
Le hablé de que en Estados Unidos se perdieron en abril 20 millones de empleos.
And we already spoke that in the United States, they lost 20 million jobs.
Todas las proporciones. Pero también quiero decir que nosotros ya tenemos un plan.
But I also want to say that we already have a plan
para la recuperación y la creación de nuevos empleos.
for the recovery and for the creation of new jobs.
2 millones de nuevos empleos.
2 million new jobs.
¿De qué manera? Bueno, con el programa Jóvenes Construyendo el Futuro.
And in what way? Well, we're going to have jobs for the youth creating a future.
Estamos pensando en 230,000 jóvenes
Around 230,000 youth
que van a ingresar, que son adicionales
that are additional, that are going to be joining
al programa.
the program.
El programa de mejoramiento urbano en 50
And also the program for the betterment of the urban areas.
ciudades, que es impulsar la industria de la construcción, mejorar espacios públicos.
They will be bettering construction, public spaces,
Mercados,
businesses. Excuse me.
introducir agua, drenaje,
Water, drainage.
construir vivienda. Eso nos va a significar crear 228,000 empleos
And that will create 228,000 jobs.
en lo que resta de este año.
And that will be towards the end of this year.
En Sembrando Vida aumentamos a 200,000 sembradores.
And in the area of planting life, we've gotten 200,000 more jobs.
El Tren Maya, nada más este año,
And the Maya train, just this year,
80,000 empleos.
80,000 jobs.
La refinería de Dos Bocas, 72,000 empleos.
The refinery at Dos Bocas, 72,000 jobs.
La construcción este año nada más de 1,350 sucursales del Banco de Bienestar.
And this year, we're going to be making 1,300 branches for the Bank of Well-Being.
Van a significar 47,000 empleos.
And this will be 47,000 jobs.
En contratación de médicos y enfermeras
And in the contracting of nurses and doctors
para enfrentar la pandemia,
to confront the pandemic,
ya llevamos hasta ahora 45,080.
and as of now, we have 45,080
Profesionales de la salud
healthcare professionals
contratados y vamos a seguir.
That have been contracted, and we're going to continue to get more.
Contratando para que no falten los médicos.
And we will continue to contract them in order to not have a shortage of doctors and nurses.
No falte enfermeras, el personal de salud que se requiere.
And the healthcare personnel that is needed.
En el aeropuerto que se está construyendo en Santa Lucía, el aeropuerto Felipe Ángeles.
And in the airport that is being created in Santa Lucía, the airport Felipe Ángeles,
está haciendo la Secretaría de Defensa.
Is being done by the Secretary of Defense.
También alrededor de 44,000 empleos.
Around 44,000 jobs.
Esto lo está haciendo la Defensa.
And this is being done by the Department of Defense.
La Guardia Nacional.
And the National Guard.
La contratación en Sedena, 26,000.
And the contracting of the military, 26,000.
Elementos.
New units or people. And maintenance of roads, 21,000 jobs.
Caminos de mano de obra, los que estamos haciendo en Oaxaca.
And the roads that we are making in Oaxaca that are handmade.
Alrededor de 15,000 empleos.
15,000 jobs.
Caminos rurales que también se están construyendo, 12,000.
And also other rural roads which are also being constructed are 12,000 jobs.
Empleos. Y así, en total, 2 millones. O sea,
and like this, in total, 2 million jobs.
Se van a perder. Con la crisis, ese es mi cálculo.
So I calculate that we'll lose 1 million with the crisis.
Es todo un desafío, alrededor de 1 millón, pero vamos a generar.
But we are going to generate
2 millones.
2 million jobs.
De nuevos empleos. Además, ya se empieza a reactivar la economía.
And we're going to be creating these new jobs. And now the economy has already begun to reactivate.
Ya a partir del 1 de junio.
And as of the 1st of June,
se abre poco a poco.
We will slowly begin to open
la industria de la construcción,
the construction industry,
la minería,
the mineries,
la industria automotriz,
the industry of automotive industry,
vinculada a Estados Unidos, a Canadá, y el día 1 de julio inicia el funcionamiento, entra a funcionar, a operar el Tratado de Libre Comercio de Estados Unidos.
And we're going to begin in July to implement the Treaty of Free Trade Agreement that is between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico.
Unidos, Canadá y México, nuestro país. Y esto va a ayudar mucho en una circunstancia especial, extraordinaria.
And this will help our country very much in our economy. And we also have some special circumstances that are happening right now.
China ha decidido no crecer.
And China has decided not to grow.
No van a apostar al crecimiento. Incluso
they are not betting on growth. And even more so,
han dicho que no van a publicar datos.
And they said they're not going to be publicizing data
acerca de su crecimiento económico.
Regarding their economic growth.
Hacen a un lado el llamado Producto Interno Bruto y que se ocupan más de fortalecer su economía y de resolver demandas de empleo en China.
So they said that they're going to be setting aside the situations with gross national product, but they're going to pay more attention to their economy, and they're going to pay special attention to creating jobs.
O sea, la fábrica del mundo, que es China,
because the factory of the world is actually China,
va a dejar de producir.
and they will stop producing.
Entonces, en una circunstancia muy especial, ahora México es uno de los principales países.
So under these very special circumstances, Mexico has become one of the countries,
Si no es que el principal país,
and it may even be the principal country,
para recibir inversiones
to receive investments
y desarrollar empresas,
and to develop companies,
pensando en que se tiene garantizado el mercado de Estados Unidos y de Canadá, sobre todo.
and with this special situation that they've guaranteed the marketplace of Canada and the United States.
El mercado más fuerte,
And that is the strongest market
con más capacidad
with the most capacity
de compra,
of purchases,
es el mercado estadounidense.
which is the United States market.
Entonces, esperamos más inversión extranjera, esperamos más creación de empresas y generación
And so we're expecting more investment and more creation of factories and companies
de empleos. Todo
and a creation of jobs.
esto nos va a ayudar.
And all of these things are going to help.
Además, estamos reforzando la economía popular.
And also we are reinforcing the popular economy.
Ya lo hemos dicho.
And we have said it before.
Miren, casi 4 millones de créditos.
And we've almost given 4 million credits.
Vamos a seguir otorgando.
And we will continue granting these.
Ya llevamos hasta ahora 752,000
And at this time we've given 752,000
créditos
credits
otorgados,
that we have granted,
con una inversión de 45,000 millones de pesos.
and that is with an investment of 45,000 million pesos.
Pero en total son 3,928,000 créditos.
But in total it's 3,900,000, credits.
Y va a ser una derrama económica en créditos a la palabra para pequeñas empresas.
And we are giving these grants of small loans to small businesses and small business owners.
Y también créditos personales
And also personal loans
por 307,000 millones de pesos.
and in the amount of 3,007 million pesos.
Esto va a reactivar la economía.
And this will reactivate the economy.
Esto con las remesas,
And
con
this,
todo el programa de
with the remittances and with the whole program
bienestar,
of well-being,
las pensiones a los adultos mayores,
the pensions for the older adults,
a niñas, niños con discapacidad,
for boys and girls with disabilities,
las estancias infantiles que están siendo apoyadas, ya no como era antes, de que se daba el dinero a través de intermediarios, sino ahora es apoyar directamente.
and we are now giving the money directly to the people without any intermediaries.
A las madres, a los padres de familia.
And the money goes directly to the parents of the families.
Para que puedan sus hijos estar en estas estancias infantiles.
So that these children can be in these grammar schools.
Y las becas.
And also they get grants.
Cerca de 11 millones de becas para estudiantes.
And there's 11 million grants for students.
De familias de escasos recursos económicos. Con todo esto.
And with all of this, for the underprivileged or people that have low income.
Que no solo es economía, es justicia, es.
But it is not just economy, it's also justice.
Bienestar.
Well-being.
Con todo esto vamos a sacar adelante.
And by doing all of this, we are taking our country ahead.
Nuestro querido México.
Our beloved Mexico.
Ahí vamos. Y son buenas las noticias.
And so there we go, and the news is good.
Estoy optimista y quería compartir con ustedes.
I am optimistic, and I wanted to share this with you.
Este entusiasmo que tengo.
This enthusiasm that I feel.
Vamos adelante.
We are getting ahead.
Nada nos va a detener.
Nothing will hold us back.
Y la transformación se va a seguir llevando a cabo.
And the transformation will continue to happen.
En nuestro país.
In our country.
En beneficio de nuestro querido pueblo.
For the benefit of our dear people.
Que viva México.
Long live Mexico. Wow. I'm so impressed with our president in Mexico. He has such a beautiful way of expressing his love for his people, and I think the way he's going about stimulating the economy is a good example of how he is doing just that, just providing for the people. And so I wanted to get a better picture of him on there for you to end it in. But anyway, I just thought I'd share this with you. These are little shorts that he does on the weekends when he's still doing, since he's not able to go out amongst the people right now due to the pandemic, he's doing it from his office, but he's never stopping working. He's still working all the time. So anyway, have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time. Bye.